Alright, we are recording, and there's been a minor update. None of the foregoing medieval, which is an early access key, was originally provided by Tinsley PR for the Irregular Corporation. Um, it did get a minor update. None of the things really stood out to me. But also just took a really long time to boot up, and I'm not sure why. This will probably be a short video. I got time today. It's just... I got like a cold on Tuesday, which the weather changed enough that would explain it. I don't know, I do kind of wonder how many other people are like that. We're just weather changes and they get a cold. But that was on Tuesday and basically lasted during the day. But since then, so Wednesday, Thursday, and now today, because I record on Friday, I've just been feeling tired, and I don't know why. It's very annoying. So yeah, I'm probably going to keep it short for that reason. I have 3 things in my notes. There might be a 4th one that I'll talk about. That isn't specifically relevant, it's just something I may talk about. So the first one is actually the second on my list here, because it came up. I only saw it later, and this is... It's kind of weird. And I'm also just trying to remember, what am I doing? I honestly don't remember quite what I'm trying to do in here. But yeah, so anyway, I saw the news, and it's really weird, because, like, the news is from, like, Monday. I saw it yesterday, Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Yes. Apparently, some security researchers found a 12 terabyte data set with, hang on, 26 billion records in it of, like, leaks. As in, like, usernames, passwords, stuff like that. That's big. Now, one of the places that found it and was reporting on it, Cyber News, I think was the name of it. They point out a lot of these are known leaks. But still, that's a lot, and for context, there's that site, Have I Been Pwned, that keeps track of the different leaks, and you can put in, like, an email address, and it'll tell you if you're included in that. Where did this cat come from? Anyhow, Cyber News also has their own version of that, and for context, they said, yeah, that's 15 billion. So this is larger than we have record of. But I just find it weird because, like, I've seen no news of this. Like, PC Gamer is one that I will look at. I tend not to use that as sources, but they mentioned it, and that was, like, on Thursday. It's like, shouldn't this be really big news? But almost nothing, so I don't know how exactly concerned... I mean, there's a good chance there's new stuff in there that people didn't know was leaked. But I don't know how much cause for concern there is if it's barely being covered. And yes, I did put in the Friday write-up. But also, there's an element of, this information is in that leak, it's already been out there. So, yeah. Just that whole kind of congratulations, now you're just finding out. But it still is, yeah. Change passwords if you're concerned. Or if you are just reusing passwords, or you have some that are really old and you care. It was funny, when I checked one of my email addresses, and it said that yes, some information had been leaked in a last.fm hack. And it's like, I didn't realize I had an account there. I don't care. And I don't think that I don't even know where I'd be able to find the password. It's like, yeah, I'm not concerned about that one. It also would have been years ago, so it's like, that is a very old one. So it's like, yeah. But it's also 2-factor authentication kind of stuff is a good idea. Because that way, even if the stuff does get leaked, people can't access things unless they get access to that information. Or just some way around it. So, yeah. Not a great situation, but I'm withholding panic at the moment. Because you would think if it were this as major as it could be, it would be getting major attention, and it doesn't seem to be yet. Other 2 things I have. One is AMD released new drivers. The first new drivers of the year, and importantly, well, it adds support for the 7600 XT, not surprising there. but it also adds AFMF, which is AMD Fluid Motion Frames. That's the frame generation stuff. But what's important about this is driver side. So any DirectX 11 or 12 game, which I think this is probably DirectX 11, if I had a supporting GPU, which I don't, that's RX 6000, 7000, and 700M laptop GPUs. If you have one of those, and you install these drivers, you can just toggle on the frame generation for any DirectX 11 or 12 game. Now, obviously, FSR3, which is the frame generation, there we go. For some reason, generation just escaped my brain. That is it, and that, when properly implemented, should provide better quality, potentially also better performance. But it still is you can just have this in most any game. That's pretty neat. I've got no... That really shouldn't be here. It's a raw material. Where? I mean, it literally says it's a raw material. It isn't listed under raw material. This is what I mean by they have... This game is... here we go. Fermenting ingredients, that must be. It's like, literally, raw material. No, it's under this. They need... I get the whole adding new features. I really do. But there is so much, like, bad bookkeeping kind of stuff in this that really deserves attention. Sorry, I just had a couple texts from a friend. Yeah, so it's... Personally, I'm not that interested in hallucinated frames. Certainly not hallucinated frames. I don't really care much for hallucinated detail, like with DLSS. And arguably, I don't even like the idea of upscalers in general, if it is just quality, balanced performance, and ultra performance. I mean, it's like, MechWarrior 5 and Ghost Recon Wildlands are two games I remember when I did a performance analysis for both those. You could just... It had a resolution scale option in there that you could tweak. It's like, that I find much better. Because I remember with Recon Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands, you could not only change that, but you could also toggle on and off. It was just Fidelity FX cast, so just the Fidelity FX sharpening. And I found that I could take it down to like 80% without that, and the game still looked good and gave me some more performance. I turned that on, I could go down another 10%. I think the steps were 10%. But it's like that I much prefer to just, turn on DLSS and it's what somebody else set. It's like, no, let me control it. So if I could control it and toggle on an upscaler that may be better than just a sharpening filter, that, I'd love it. But that's not what is really being offered. Okay, what do I have for clay bricks? I have that many clay bricks. You know what? Oh, that sucks. I was just about to start doing something, and now I need to, like, rapidly, very rapidly, start cutting. Okay, cut plants. Because it is very important to do that. Yeah, everybody come and do this. Because this spreads. Oh, there. Like, that actually might be an advantage to trying to keep things at a distance from each other. Oh, hang on. Those aren't marked for cutting. And that one now. That. This is seriously trying to plant right after. Okay, got him. All right, cut plants down. Up, 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 up. At least one thing with AFMF, that's likely not hallucinated frames. They're still false frames, I think would be fair to say. The reason why they might not count as hallucinated is just that it's not an AI system. It uses more conventional means. With no, copy. And by the way, it is one of those things where it's like, yeah, it doesn't. Because some people would be like, oh, well, see, that's an advantage to NVIDIA. It's like, not necessarily. I mean, it's kind of like how I would explain. Oh, I do have Windows on this side. DLSS 2 is that the actual description of it that NVIDIA has given in blog posts, which was a long time back, found when it released, is one that it reads a lot like just SMAA with a different morphological engine, which is entirely a feature of SMAA that you can change the morphological engine. So yeah, it does seem like you could just do that and you put something in there that's just neural network trained, and hey, now you got DLSS, and things like that. Oh, good. That was actually the other thing. Hang on. In that case, let me look at it. The other thing I've noted is that Framework is actually going to be, like today, Friday, they're supposed to be sending out emails, and looks like I just got mine, about preparing the Framework 16 for shipping and all that, because reviews went live earlier this week. And so now the review units, and there are some known issues that reviewers got. A lot of them have already been fixed, or it's like, okay, now we know about them, we'll start trying to fix them. But it is just, yeah, so now they're sending out the emails. I am in batch 1, so it's like we're preparing batch 1 of Framework Laptop 16 with the 7040 series from AMD. Please review your info. So I've got shipping address, credit card information, all that. Okay, so... And I'm seeing the pre-order confirmed, so sent when the order was placed. I got that months ago. Preparing the batch, that's what this is. Payment will be collected prior to shipment, obviously, within the communicated shipping window. Payment complete, sent when we capture the balance of your order. Our warehouse will prepare your pre-order for shipment within 1 to 3 business days after payment is complete. And then shipment notification. And I did see, because they did talk some about it on their forums, and I was looking because I knew this stuff would be coming soon. I'll put all batch 1 from our factory before the end of next week. Oh, wait a minute. Some keyboards we expect to have at our warehouse in early February. One module, the RGB macro pad, has a pending delivery schedule from our supplier. I think I actually did order the RGB English. So I wonder if that means I'll be delayed. Damn. I mean, still is. It's like a week or two away, but... But also, and this is the thing I actually saw them mention, and I do want to check on. Lunar New Year is coming up, and because so much of the stuff does come out of Taiwan that does celebrate it, that the fulfillment warehouse, well, our sub-suppliers, laptop factory, and our fulfillment warehouse will be closed from February 8th to 14th. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I may also... yeah. Estimated delivery date, ships Q4. They haven't updated that. And let me actually here. So I'm just looking at the RGB US English. Yeah, so that might end up being delayed. Yeah, so I ordered 4 USB-A expansion cards, 2 USB-C. You need at least one of those, by the way, one USB-C, because that's how it charges. But it's got 6 ports, so I could have all those in there. But I also have an HDMI expansion card, so I can like run that to television or into the capture card on the desktop. An Ethernet expansion card, audio expansion card, so I got a headphone jack. The number pad module, which, by the way, I think that does have white LEDs in it for backlighting, which that's great, love it. I wish that they had the macro pad option where it's all just 1U keys. And here we can go back to that. I like that. Don't get me wrong, I legitimately do like that. But it's clear keycaps. It's like, so the macro pad I'm using right now, I have set up as just all 1Us, but it's usually a number pad. And it's like, so it's the enter keys, 2 keys. The plus keys, 2 keys, and the 0 key is 2 keys. I'd like that and just like have 2 zeros, have 2 enters, have 2 pluses on there. Like, it doesn't need to be clear. You do that. Let me do all kinds of fun stuff with that. And actually, the LEDs are acting up on this macro pad a little bit. So I actually am thinking about getting a different one replacing this. And don't get me wrong, I love this. It's the duck board. You can't get them anymore because the guy who designed them, who makes them, has been incommunicado for a year or something, and no one knows why. But still, I mean, it is a nice board, and it's also one of those unfortunate things where if somebody were to just make up a new one that were very similar, that would be awesome. It would sell. The problem is they can't. It would be unethical because it's not their design. It's Dude. Yeah. DOD is what it went by. It's his design, and it's like, no, we can't do that. There's others that are similar, though, like things called the Goblin Pad. So what I really like is it's a 20+1. So the number pad, if you don't have the double width keys, the all single, is 5x4. So there's 20. This is a 20+1, where it has a 20, but also another key to the side. And I use that to turn on the review layer. So I hit that, and now I've got a button for taking screenshots, a button for saving review replay buffer videos, a button to stop and start recording, to mute the mic. I've got all that. I'm not using that because the LEDs are a little finicky, and I don't want to. It won't disrupt my ability to use it, but it's just still. But I like that key, and then it also has a rotary encoder on there. The Goblin Pad has 2 rotary encoders instead of a button there. It's like, honestly, I don't need the rotary encoder, but just a 20+1, I would love that. Okay, so that, no. Off. Well, that's true, actually. Yeah, make it that. Okay. I was a little confused there for a moment. I thought the doors were here and the windows were here, by the way. That's why I was confused for a moment. There. Oh, I guess I don't have. That one's set up quite like that. That actually basically does cover the last of the news I wanted to talk about. Although I will say this, it finally got, like, I actually had gaming news. I guess it just had to be the end of January. And I don't remember anything's really standing out from that. I'm the tiredness and just some of it. It's also, I write it up and then it's like, yeah, I don't really need to talk about it necessarily all that much. But the other thing that I was thinking I could talk about, and it's not just because I like the movie. I did enjoy it when I went to see it, but it's also just something that I think a lot of people might not recognize. is that so starting today, well, Friday, so yesterday, for 1 week, Godzilla -1 minus color is in American theaters. So what Toho, and I'm sure also the director and such, and the people behind oh, I don't like that. Behind Godzilla -1 decided to do, and Toho is also like the original company, the production house behind original Godzilla. They decided to, because of its success, and it's, 71st now. Godzilla -1 came out to be as a 70th anniversary tribute for the original Godzilla. Anyway, they decided that to celebrate its success and all that, and to continue to pay tribute, they would release a version that's black and white. But here's the thing, and this is why I'm very interested in it. As I said, I enjoyed the movie. I've already seen it. I enjoyed it. But what a lot of people don't realize, or at least I'm concerned a lot of people don't realize, is you can't just take modern video and make it black and white, and boom, now you got a black and white film. It's not that simple. Black and white is going to have different contrasts in it. Like where the black point is, where the white point is going to be different between color and black and white. There's also potentially different grain that you'll see there, but it's also like legitimately the contrast would be different between an actual black and white film, as in made with black and white film stock and made to properly use it, compared to a color film. So potentially there's some things that they might not be able to do because they filmed the movie originally in color, but it's also possible that they will have gone in, and I've seen stuff saying they went cut by cut for the movie to try to get it right. I could believe that some of that, I'm just gonna get rid of all those, because that's just, that is a problem right here. Okay. It would be nice if you could just put a zone and be like, no trees here. Yeah, that's nice. I have an extra chicken. Oh, that's also kind of funny. So it's putting in... That might have... I got a sampling somehow and put it right there. Okay, so yeah, that sapling, though, just fell. And I just want that out. Okay, why is this not... The heck? You can take salt. I mean, technically that's under raw material, but it is also food, so I should be checking there. Oh, wait, the salt would... Except it's not. It can. But it isn't. Alright, oh, I am running out of space in here. Alright, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it does seem like these are actually all empty, though. Yeah, so I am, as I was saying, I'm just interested in seeing how they actually end up managing some of that properly. 10, 8, 5, 13, 5, 13 again, 10, okay. Alright. You know what? Yeah, let's take wood I mean, I would enjoy having more barley seeds. I doubt I need that many birch saplings, so that's how we can... that to be acceptable, although I don't think I want to lose that many. Oh no, that only takes me down to 15, so that's not bad. Yeah, I'll take more cabbage seeds too, so... I will just need to figure that out. Does look like I'm just good on a lot of this stuff. Oh, man, look at that flaxseed. What? Is that a food? Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm not overly concerned there. I could get a wolf from the dude? Huh. What? I'm confused by that. I'm taking from him. Why is his... Oh! Never mind, I see. Because he's using the wolf to carry some of it, and I would take that away from him. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so that's just gonna have to wait until the morning, essentially. But, yeah. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else to mention. None is really coming to mind. Yeah. I'm just like, I have the Testis on because I had to doing some video processing. With actual black and white films. Just pulled off of DVDs what Abbott and Costello films my parents have, so we can put it on their copy of Jellyfin. I don't keep things that aren't on mine. They own the DVDs, goes to them. But I do enjoy Abbott and Costello. Apparently, it's the Universal Movies. There is a Blu-ray set of all those. I will buy that at some point. I just don't need it right now, so waiting. It's like, I definitely don't need I've bought in the past, like, few months so much. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. So, most of it, not counting the movies, most of it from my childhood. Like, I think it was back in, no, it was either late November or early December. No, it was in December. I purchased Batman Beyond and the Superman animated series from the 90s. I already had the Batman animated series on Blu-ray, which that I got after Kevin Conroy's death. But Batman Beyond and Superman, I've been wanting both those as well because it's part of how I grew up. So I'm very happy to have those. If I could... They don't have a set of Blu-rays for all the Justice League, which is a little weird. I think that Justice League may not have done as well, or Justice League Unlimited. But I would also, if they put Static Shock on Blu-ray, I'd buy that. If they put the X-Men series on Blu-ray, I'd buy that. If they put the Spider-Man series, I'd definitely buy that. There was also, short-lived, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, Fantastic Four. Like, those, I think, each lasted, like, maybe a season. Spider-Man lasted multiple. And I feel that some of it might have been they were just trying to, like, cross-pollinate with the Spider-Man. But no, I think all those didn't last that long. But I would buy those up, too. Yeah, I mean, it's just... Yeah, why are they... Yeah, dogs shouldn't even be in there. They're allowed to be in there. I don't care, but it's like, why are they in there? Yeah, so pulled those. Bought those, pulled those off onto the server. But I also bought up, because, again, part of my childhood, the Hercules Legendary Journeys. Because I did enjoy that growing up. I have a feeling watching through it, some of it will be kind of cringy as an adult, but it's like, well... Yeah, but I'm still going to recognize it as a good show. It was a good show for kids and such, and it's kind of silly, but it's, you know... fun, and I want to say a lot of it is morality play too, which, I mean, you don't necessarily have a lot of that today. It used to be, Westerns. If you look at classic Westerns like Gunsmoke, Rifleman, Have Gun Will Travel, Rawhide, the Wanted Dead or Alive, Roundup, no, Trackdown, that's what I was thinking of. Roundup, I think, is also a classic Western, but I was trying to think of Trackdown. They're all morality play stuff, which, I mean, that is one thing that's kind of funny. It's like some people that might look down on classic Westerns, it's like, what have you got against morality plays? What are you talking about? No, that's what they are. That's what all of them are. Even Bonanza to a degree, but Bonanza is also, was also a comedy in some ways, so it was not consistently a morality play show, I think is the fairest way to put it. Like some of the episodes were not a morality play, some of them were comedy. Nothing intrinsically wrong with that, by the way. Just yeah, that is the case. And besides, you gotta do what you can to keep the thing going. Okay, if you are cold, then you know what? Hopefully they will just change. And actually, what? There. Just make them. But we can also... Oh, what I meant to do. Come on. Okay, good. And on. So I can just start warming places up. Yeah, so got that. I don't know if I want to get Xena. Xena I didn't necessarily care for as a kid. So it's a little weird to me when I see that apparently that was the more popular of the two, and it's like, really? I mean, it didn't connect with me, but whatever. But I also purchased Run Silent and Deep. Very good classic movie. Clark Gable, Burt Lancaster. World War II, submarine combat. I mean, that is a good movie. And it's not also just action, it is also drama. Action drama, but yeah. RoboCop and a new copy of The Last Starfighter. Purchased all those, and there's like an older 25th anniversary edition of Last Starfighter on Blu-ray. That's what I had, and apparently it wasn't... People say there's some issues with it. I don't know, I was happy with it, but I purchased Arrow Entertainment, something like that. They put out a version that is superior, and watching it, it does definitely look very good. And it has more grain in it, which is one thing that some things being re-released on Blu-ray, it is exactly that, where it's not having as much denoising done. So that is one thing I saw concerning my collection of the Star Trek movies. Like, I have the original Blu-ray set for the Star Trek movies, and one criticism that I have seen of those is that they used a lot of DNR on there, digital noise reduction. Which, I'll be honest, watching them, I've never really had an issue. But I do want to get the new Blu-ray set of them at some point. The reason, though, is because... Okay, in my opinion, I should be wrapping up before long. Star Trek 6 is, in my opinion, the best of them. And by the way, the last time I watched through them all, which was like in the summer, I did decide watching through that, yes, the original cast movies are just flat out better than, I mean, except for Final Frontier. Okay, that one, yeah. Nemesis can beat that one. But Generations, which I do enjoy. First Contact, I do enjoy. Insurrection is not so good. Nemesis is definitely not that good. It's like those. It's still 1 through 4 and 6 easily beat the Next Generation cast movies, including First Contact. Okay, I know a lot of people love that, but I watch it and it's like, it's just an action movie. To me, it doesn't have the depth to it like Wrath of Khan. Wrath of Khan is a superior film, which is kind of the point I was trying to get to. In my opinion, Star Trek 6 is the best of them. But as I just said, Wrath of Khan is a superior film. I consider them both superior films. And I prefer Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. I think that is the better of the two. If I ever meet somebody that wants to try to argue that point with me, here's the thing. If they are willing to say that, yeah, Undiscovered Country is still really good, but Wrath of Khan is better, it's like, I'm not going to argue with them. I consider them both excellent movies. Absolutely excellent movies. I just have my preference there, and we can debate what, well, it wouldn't be a debate. We can just try to share why we prefer one over the other. But that would be it. That's all it would be. Would just be that sharing why we think one is better than the other. And I can tell you why I think 6 is better than 2. I enjoy the political thriller elements to it. It's got a more involved and interesting story there. Wrath of Khan is very good, don't get me wrong, but it's in many ways just an action movie, and what drama is there is directly concerning the action itself. Well, some of the relationship stuff between Kirk, Spock, and Bones, so the Spock's death is meaningful. That, okay, no, that isn't just directly related to the action, but the intrigue and such going on with Undiscovered Country and the amount of Shakespeare that's used there, I mean, it is such a good movie. That, yes, I do enjoy it more. I do enjoy it more. And I guess another way to put it is this. In the investigation in Undiscovered Country, when they're trying to figure out what happened, you have moments of calm. Like, the image I have specifically in mind, and I'm going to save and stop right here. I will finish my point, and then that's it. But you have Chekhov in the transporter room collecting evidence. And it's like, this is completely silent. Nothing is being said. Because nothing needs to be said. And just, what's going on, and just the imagery is enough. Wrath of Khan has nothing like that. There is never a moment that they can just be silent and telling the whole story and telling you what's going on there. And I kind of, I kind of wish it were more like that. That you could tell the story that way, but you can't. But hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how Wrath of Khan is. Wrath of Khan, and as I said, and I will keep saying, is a superior film. It truly is. There's so many things it does so right. And I'll add one more thing with, because some people who would say the Wrath of Khan and First Contact are the two best. They are, for action, both very good films. But I think Wrath of Khan's story is better. And part of that is also with First Contact. There are elements of it, very obvious, and some not so much, of Picard coming unraveled. Picard ceasing to be a Starfleet captain, right? Because those are supposed to be these very consistent paragons, right? And he falls in the film, definitely, because of his hatred to the Borg just really seething out of him. But it's like, it's consistent through there. In Wrath of Khan, as angry as Kirk gets, it's very momentary. It's like, he really only gets angry the one time when he yells back at Khan, when Khan gives the speech about, and I've hurt you and I will keep on hurting you. It's like, that's a very, very good scene there. And Kirk's reaction of anger is exactly what it's supposed to be and is perfect there. But then it stops. It becomes him needing to be that captain. Picard needs to be the captain, but the problem is he does fall from it and has to come back to it. The whole decision of just blow up the ship. That is what he should have done from the start. I mean, you can make that argument. Kirk, he has destroyed his own ship because it was necessary before. I mean, it's just... I just look at it and I see that there's also another thing, because I was thinking about it not that long ago, is that in the movies, in the Next Generation movies, in so many ways, they are about Kirk and... sorry, not Kirk. Picard and Data. Everyone else is supporting. You cannot say that about the original cast. Okay? You can't. It is most certainly about Kirk, Spock, and McCoy foremost. But you can't neglect Uhura. You can't neglect Scotty. You can't neglect Chekhov. I'm thinking, can you neglect Sulu? Actually, you might be able to, until you get to 6. Because then he's the captain of the Excelsior. Yeah, you might actually be able to neglect Sulu as I think right now. Because, like, Chekhov is relevant in Voyage Home and in Wrath of Khan, and relevant in 6. I'm not remembering 5 so much. But what the hell does Sulu do? I'm sorry, I just realized he actually isn't all that important in those. But still, it's like, you have an actual family there of these people, and you care about the family. But then you've... with the Next Generation cast, I mean, it's... Picard is the captain, Data is Data, and Data's in some ways like a son to him. You know, it is a father-son kind of relationship between them. Data looks up to him, admires him, is trying to learn from him. But everyone else, Geordi is Data's friend. Worf is, in some ways, Picard's friend, but also just he's head of security for Picard's ship. Riker is Picard's friend, and number 1, second command. Deanna is, again, just somebody's friend. I mean, it's like they really don't carry that much weight in those films. And that's another thing where it's like, I do see that the original cast is better there. Now, I'm not saying that about the television series Next Generation. I'm not saying it there. I'm just saying for the movies. But it is, I mean, so if you stop and think about it, who are the most promoted characters across all 4 movies? Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, Nemesis. Picard and Data. No one else matters that much. And it is kind of sad when you think about it. But you couldn't do the original cast movies without Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. It always has to be those 3, and you do have the others around them because you need them there as well. But I mean, it's like with Geordi, he matters kind of in Generations, but they could have come up with some other way for the Klingons to spy. And also does matter because of Data's breakdown there, but it's Geordi's his friend. That's kind of how that is. He matters a little bit in Insurrection with the whole his eyes are regenerated and he's finally getting to see his sunset, and he tells Picard, basically, this is worth fighting for. It's like, I know I will lose this, but I'm glad to have had it, but I'm willing to sacrifice it because we need to stop what's happening. It's like, so that matters, but again, he's a friend. Worf. I got nothing. And I'm sorry, I like the Worf character. He's great in TNG and Deep Space Nine, but it's like, what does he do? What does he actually contribute in those movies? Not much. I'm sorry, he really doesn't. The movies are so much focused on Data and Picard. Data in Generations, the emotion ship. Data in First Contact is the Borg are obsessed with him. The Borg Queen, at least. Borg Queen's also obsessed with Picard. Insurrection, it's Data that went rogue-ish because he uncovered what was happening. Nemesis, the whole he had to sacrifice himself, the finding of the technically older brother but wasn't finished, that whole thing there with Beta. Actually, did they? I don't remember. Was it called Beta or something? But it's like, you've got that there. Then Picard, I mean, obviously the captain should be important. But it's just so much surrounds and focuses on Picard that's like, well, what are the others doing? And in some ways, it's also a little disappointing because Picard is not an action hero character. He isn't. Kirk is. Riker is more the action hero character. But it's like, with First Contact, he's almost used for laughs. Having to deal with everyone down on the ground. And it works. Hey, don't get me wrong. Riker works well with laughs. But I mean, what action can you think about for him? He was on the planet while the action was happening in space on the ship. So yeah, I mean, it's the original cast movies are better. And I don't remember why exactly I started talking about that. Why did I start? Oh yeah, that's right, the DNR stuff. And I never even finished. Why? So yes, I want to get it. Not want to get the new Blu-rays, not just because of that, but because Undiscovered Country, the director's cut, is on that Blu-ray, and I did not realize. I had the DVDs, the collector edition DVDs. I got rid of them, gave them to my brother when I got the Blu-rays. I didn't realize that 6, on the DVDs was a director's cut. And the director's cut is better, except for the Scooby-Doo endings. If you watch it, you know. If you look it up, you will find out. But the Scooby-Doo stuff, that, as I said, political thriller, there's intrigue. When the people are, this is what the Scooby-Doo endings are. When the people are named, who the conspirators are, they do like a flash and a doo kind of tone to them to emphasize, yes, these were the bad guys. Absolutely unnecessary to do that. Those being cut out is fine, but the other things, because they have various editions there, like one thing that is mentioned in the theatrical cut, but you actually see it talked about and like occurring in the director's cut, is Scotty manually counting every torpedo on the ship. Okay, because computer says that there's 2 missing, but a manual count, a visual count, showed that that's not true. It's like, things like that. It's like it helps build that intrigue that there are these things going on. It's like, it's such a good film, especially the director's cut. So yeah, at some point I will get that. I don't know when, but yeah, better films than I would still, because I think they put out new versions of the next generation cast. I would still buy that because I enjoy all of them, but his original cast, in my opinion, is better. Anyway, that has been a lot about nothing that's specifically relevant, is it? Sorry about that. But in any case, oh yeah, I should mention next week I will still try to do it, but things might be a little different because I'm going to be busy on Friday next week, and that might interfere with my ability to record one of these. So it might just be a short one, or it might be like I have to do it Saturday morning or Thursday evening, something like that. So yeah, just little wonky, but yeah. All right. See you next time.